So, Changli has been out for a while now, and this guide is going to be a bit more in-depth. I made a beginner guide if you guys want to check that out first though. So, here is your in-depth guide on playing Changli. This guide will consist of kit guide, team rotations, and a showcase. So, starting off with her skills, her Forte Circuit. Her Forte Circuit is the most important part of a kit. She gains stacks of Inflamement, aka your Forte stacks. When Changli heavy attacks, she consumes her Forte stacks. This deals fusion damage and counts as resonant skill damage. It deals quite a bit of damage. Then onto her resonant skill. Changli has 2 E's. Each E gives you a stack of Inflamement, dealing fusion damage also. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it at least gets your rotation going. Right, so onto her Resonance Liberation. Changli's ultimate has a pretty high damage multiplier, and it also replenishes your Inflamement stacks and increases her attack by 25% if you heavy attack right after. Going over next to her intro skill. Her intro skill will also provide you with another stack of Inflamement. It's pretty basic, but again, it gets your rotation going. Right, and then getting to her basic attack. Her basic attack is pretty straightforward. You can either do a 4 basic attack on the ground or a 4 mid-air basic attack to generate 1 stack of Inflamement. Then lastly, Changli's outro skill is known as a deepen buff, providing the next character with a fusion buff about 20% and a liberation buff of 25%. Pretty straightforward. Then, now to the team section. Getting to the teams, depending on if you want to play her as your on-field DPS or your sub DPS slash buffer. My opinion, the best character to use as her sub DPS is Yinlin for her incredible off-field damage and how well she builds up her concerto energy. Then you would probably want to play Sanhua, because Sanhua again also builds up her concerto really fast. Both of these characters can utilize the Moonlit Cloud set, which will provide more buffing for Changli. Now, getting to a sustain character or her healer. Your 2 options are Verina and Baija. Verina provides a lot of healing and an attack buff, and is really good at generating concerto energy. Baija on the other hand provides decent healing and an okay amount of concerto, so either of them work well, but Verina is easier overall to play. So, next, if you want to use Changli as a sub DPS slash buffer, you have 3 characters you can run with her. First being Encore. Encore can utilize Changli's deepen buff to the fullest, and does pretty well with it. Then, going over, you have Shisha. Again, Shisha can also use the deepen buff to some extent. The liberation buff isn't too valuable, but it still works. Then lastly, you have Havoc Rover. Havoc Rover will utilize the liberation buff quite well, and also the fact that Changli likes to take up a lot of field time. When Rover doesn't have anything to use on field, Changli can dish out a lot of damage. So now getting to the rotations, you will probably see it better when I'm doing a proper showcase later on in the video, but generally you're always going to start off with one of Changli's resonance skills. Then you're going to basic attack right after to get her Forte stack. Then swap to your Bellborn user, in my case Verina. Build up her Concerto energy, then intro back to Changli. Basic attack immediately to get her second Forte stack. Then use her resonance skill again. Then use your Echo, the Inferno Rider 3 times. Then swap to your sub DPS for the Impermanence Heron buff, and then intro back to Changli. This rotation is her most basic rotation, but also her best rotation. Changli can get most of the buff uptimes like this, dealing more damage. So, we've finally gotten to the showcase part. Enjoy this little showcase of my S2 R1 Changli, and I will try and do the rotations as best as I can, and just so you guys can kind of see how to properly play it and how well she does. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little Changli showcase slash kind of in-depth guide on how to play her. This is currently my build. It could be better, but it's all I have right now. She has about 2600 attack. She has 46 crit rate, 300 crit damage with almost 120 energy regen. She also has about 31 skill damage, being on her best in slot, the Blazing Brilliance, and on the Molten Rift set. These are my pieces. So I actually chose to run a 1 fusion, 1 attack, 3 cost setup because I personally feel like it's a little bit stronger. These are her forte levels at the moment, and as I said, she's S2. Then obviously in the showcase my Yinlin was not running the Impermanence Heron, but you can kind of get an idea of how much stronger Changli would be with the Impermanence Heron. And lastly, my Verina, she's quite invested into, but not all the way. She has a decent amount of energy regen and she's on healing bonus. I decided to play on Cosmic Ripples because I like more healing out of her, but I will be making a guide, but obviously the variation is better on her. Well, thanks for watching. I'll be making a lot more content like this, so don't forget to subscribe.